So first of all, I'll create a new form to store the NFT serial numbers. And here we go. And this time I need 4 fields for the NFT. That's all 4 basic fields that we need for now. So I'm going to click Save. And for ease of use, I'm going to generate a CRUD component also. Alright. So once we have this, now since we already have a form for minting tokens by the end user, I can also just clone the form directly. But this time I'm going to use the clone option, and I'll clone this specific form and click Save. So what this does, it clones the same exact design top to down. Now we just need to make a few differences. So since an NFT don't exactly have an amount to mint, I can just delete all these fields, and instead of the token name in symbol and memo only, this time we'll need the token metadata. So that should already suffice for this. I'm going to click Save, and once again also generate a CRUD component, which we will tidy up later on. There we go. So once we have all of that, we'll just go to our process builder to create the process to help us mint NFTs. So I'll come in here. Now, since it's very similar to minting fungible tokens, I can just clone this process, and now I have an exact copy in here. I can just edit it and modify it so slightly. Okay, so once I have these details in here, I can just modify the rest of these mappings in here. Okay, so for this tool that we cloned over, there's not really much left we need to configure. So all we need to do is just change out some of the mappings that we currently have. So I will just make a few more changes here. So below here, we can just change the mint type to non-fungible token in here. And for the IPFS content ID, this would be the token metadata itself. And that is almost pretty much what we need. The only exception here is, aside from just storing the token data, we now also need to store the NFT data in here. So this is where I'll map it to my NFT details form. And now it is just a matter of mapping these fields accordingly. And that should suffice. So now I'll apply the change and save my process. There we go. So now I can come back to the App Studio, go to my UI. Now I'll tidy up a little bit in here. So I'll just drag a few things in here. Okay, and then now I'll drag in a new run process component. So this time we will be minting an NFT. And for the process, we select the same process that we just created. apply the change, and save our UI. Okay, so at this point we're ready to try out our application. So I'm going to click launch. Let's try it out. So we can now mint an NFT. So I'm going to borrow one of the accounts here. And click submit. So once I do this, the NFT will be minted. So as you can see here, the NFT has been minted. And if we go to manage NFT details, we can also see the NFT has been indeed minted with a serial number of 1. And for this token ID, we can also see it under the token details in here. So if we go to our NFT history, click edit, we can see the transaction ID and we can validate it on an explorer. So if we scroll down, here we can go. Here we see NFT is minted.